welcome. Bienvenidos to Sucio Talk. Hope you're enjoying your commute, your walk, your workout, your cooking, whatever the hell you're doing while you listen to this show. Don't be doing anything weird, all right? Anything. Anyway, episode 13, Chef Derek Wagner. I met him many years ago in college. I used to go to his restaurant quite a bit for brunch. It's an institution in Providence, Rhode Island, for having, upscale breakfast, lunch, brunch, fare. Always had great meals there. And it was a really big buzz in Rhode Island at the time. Being in culinary school, a lot of kids looked up to that restaurant and Chef Derek, and wanted to work there, whatever it may be. But we all talked about eating there all the time, and pretty much at least once a month on a Sunday we were at Nick's on Broadway. So if you're ever in Providence, once this weirdness ends, check it out. I think they're doing to go right now. But I don't think indoor dining ever closed in Providence, Rhode Island, which is kind of crazy. But it's the wild east out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs this week. I got Dalton, my boy Dalton Thomas. I used to work garde manger with him at the restaurant on Meadowood. He did a fried chicken pop-up this past week. So shout out to him. He said it went great. My other buddy Charlie Apple went and ate a sandwich. Said it was delicious. On that note, Charlie Apple's longtime companion dog, Doja, passed away. So rest in peace to Doja. If you know Charlie, make sure to reach out and give him your condolences. It's sad, when anybody loses their pet, the living thing that's been with them for so long. So my heart goes out to him. I know how hard it is to lose a dog. Brings up my childhood dog, Casper, friendly neighborhood dog. He was small, but he wasn't yappy, so that he had sort of a personality to him. So R.I.P. Casper. Now you can hang out with Doja up there in doggy heaven. All right. Other than that, not much news in my world. Back in California, it's nice and sunny out here. Started a nice hiking regimen in the mornings. Getting 3 to 5 miles out here. You know what I'm saying? Strengthening those legs and the mind as well. While I'm out there listening to "Can't Hurt Me" by David Goggins right now, audiobook on Amazon, and it is fucking amazing. So check it out, David Goggins' "Can't Hurt Me." Other than that, next week's episode 14, it will be Chef Jake Rojas. Now, mind you, I recorded all these episodes while I was in Rhode Island, so most of these go back at least a week, 2 weeks. But it was cool to sit down with a chef that when you were younger you looked up to, and he helped mold your career into what it is today. He was the one that told me, if you want to be the best, you got to go work with the best. So that's one of the only reasons, or one of the biggest reasons, I should say, that I went to go work at the restaurant at Meadowood. So shout out to him. So that's next Monday. Again, I plan on dropping these on Mondays. What happens is sometimes shit happens and I can't get guests on or anything like that. And you damn well don't want to hear about my life twice, okay? So I think what I'll do is to try to mitigate that when we don't really have a guest, is I've been recording thoughts sort of while out in the world, funny things here and there, so I'll probably just fucking make a compilation of that and put it out as a podcast in case I don't have any guests lined up. But usually I do, but shit happens. Hopefully all you are signing up to get your vaccinations so we can open the world back up here and go to a death metal concert. You know what I'm saying? I'm dying over here. Last live music show I saw was Slayer in the SAP Center in San Jose. Wild show. It was the first time that I'd ever saw a metal show not in a dingy, shitty bar. A metal show that was in a stadium. And the fucking mosh pit was literally the entire floor of the SAP Center. It was awesome. But it's funny because it was Slayer's 4th retirement tour. So I'm like, are you gonna retire or what? What's going on? But anyways, so next week's episode, Chef Jake Rojas also had something weird happen to me. Somebody made a fake David Sucio account on Instagram. So I guess that means I'm getting there, getting famous, but also I think it's a weirdo that made that. Maybe it's just an automatic computer that makes those fake profiles, but just some weird person just making fake profiles and filling out people's Wikipedia page. Just get a job, guys. Go out, go running, go hiking or something. It's kind of sad. But anyways, I'll stop ranting here. Please enjoy Chef Derek Wagner, episode 13. Next week, Chef Jake Rojas. The week after that, I'll give you a little sneak peek. The week after that will be Chef Daniel Verano. Chef Daniel Verano was my first chef in high school. Meaning he ran, I went to vocational school. So he ran the program there. And it's pretty interesting, man. He comes from, I don't want to offend him, but he's old as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, he's lived a life, let's say. He was in music. And what's cool is he was in the Culinary Olympics, which happened in Berlin for a long time. Just sort of that, respect to the craft, white coat, tall hat, a chef. So, but he was in my formative years of training, and one of those guys that if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sort of put on the right path to success and to wanting to explore more about food. So, shout out to Chef Daniel Verano. Again, that's 2 weeks from now, 2 Mondays from now. Sucio Chalk dropping every Monday. All right, guys. Enjoy the show. This is a long one, but a good one. And Chef Derek Wagner, ladies and gentlemen, Sucio Talk.
Environment that you're constantly using levity.
Yeah,
I
started recording because you sound good right now.
Oh, great.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
There's is that music okay in the background?
Yeah, that's lovely.
Yeah, Thelonious Monk.
This is like just it's so serene in here.
Yeah, it's like I'm constant. Again, like being like I'm gonna bounce around like this.
That's
is my
fine.
Cup
That's
of
fine.
Coffee. I'm like
So
super energetic.
Let's just do the intro real quick. This is Sucio Talk. This is I'm sitting here with Chef Derek Wagner of Nick's on Broadway, and I'm sure other projects that I will learn about. Thank you for inviting me into your home. It's beautiful. We just talked about the house, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again on the show. I just had to press record because it seemed like we were going to get into something good, so I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So Sucio Talk episode, what is it? 13. Episode 13. Lucky number 13.
It's my lucky number.
Let's do it. We're all coffeed up over here.
Yeah.
Social distance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Doing all the thing. Let's go.
The 2021. Yeah, man. It's crazy with this lifestyle and this work and just our craft and where our headspace is, and I guess what came first, the chicken or the egg, right? It's like, did we gravitate towards this line of work, into this world. Tame and hone certain senses, and I would venture to say that it's a little bit of both. And I think part of dealing with stress and anxiety, and both on the on that side of things, but also on the just constantly make people, and how can you EQ everything in the environment just to dial in making somebody feel good, right? And that comes down to, like, yes, of course, the big ones, right? Food, like taste, smell, visual, but it goes beyond just the food and the drink, right? It's like the lights, the air temperature, the vibe, like just setting a vibe first, I think is just so important. And in terms of like putting someone in the mood, it's like trying to get them, when somebody walks into a space, and every space develops its own like electricity, like whether you did it intentionally or not, it just finds itself uniquely that space, right? And if you pay attention to that, and you're like, okay, I want people to feel like this, or I want to feel like this. It can be totally self-serving, right? It's like, I just want to chill, right? Like, my life is crazy. My brain is 1,000 miles an hour. Like when I need to decompress so that I can get in a creative space, so I can soothe the machines that are going 1,000 miles an hour in my brain, and my chest pumping, and the anxiety and stress and pressure. So I'm constantly looking for that chill vibe.
I hear you.
So I'm like, how do candles, like lights, soft lights, no lights. I'm like such a cave kind of person. Like
this place is perfect. I like the way you can look into the kind of the staircase and all that through the door, and but it's, even though it's dark in here, it's light.
Yes,
like all the shades are down, but it's like still bright enough to have some thoughts. I do like that.
So here we are, chilling.
Hell yeah. So Chef, Sucio Talk, we take it all the way back, so we're gonna get into your childhood a little bit. Where are you from?
I grew up not too far from here in Greenville, Rhode Island, about 25 minutes from here. It's, in Rhode Island, we talk about when you ask them where they're from, they will give you a town or a village name that you're like, is that even a place? I don't even know. It's in Smithfield, the town of Smithfield, and it's just part of that town that sort of held on to its kind of name. It's such a, you get up into the Northeast, the towns are so old, right? They've been here for so long that they're, they were once even smaller, like little villages or parts of the town that each had names. And so just like when we're in Providence, you're like, oh, the restaurant's in Olneyville, right? It's like in Providence, but it's in Olneyville. Or, we're on the west side, or we're in Federal Hill, we're on the east side.
It's sort of like Napa, because when I got there, I was like, oh yeah, the French Laundry and the restaurant in Meadowood are in this town, right? And they're like, no, they're like fucking 45 minutes north. What are you talking about? I'm like, oh, all right, well, I guess got that one wrong.
Exactly. Except in Rhode Island, it's 45 seconds, but it's still a different town or a different name. Rather, it's a different same town.
It's a different mentality distance wise too, because you tell people, hey, my drive is 20 minutes to work, and they're like, are you crazy? Because 20 minutes in Rhode Island is Massachusetts. You know what I mean? So it's like
you're literally in another state. You're literally in another state, and that's funny. It's like economy of scale, also shrinks with perception also changes with that. And, it's so population dense for the side, and we joke about that constantly. Like, even we'll have, over the years, when we go and do like a charity event in Newport, and we're doling out food, and folks are coming to the table, and they're like, oh, this is so good. Where are you guys from? And, oh, Providence. Or, oh, where's the restaurant located? They'll say that was my favorite. And we'll say, oh, it's on Broadway. And they're like, oh, I'd never seen that. I'm like, in Newport? No, Broadway in Providence. And, oh, Providence. Oh.
Yeah.